6 seconds.
November 3rd.
All right, we will call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock and rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we will start off with approval of today's agenda. Are there any changes or additions?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that carries. Next, approval of the October 6th, 2025 minutes.
Make a motion to approve the October 6th, 2025 minutes.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that carries as well. Next in is an update, bills and communication, updated RLF balance. Is the amount on our agenda accurate?
There's a little more interest added. I caught Sue before she added the interest on last week. I caught her on the 31st and the interest wasn't added yet. So we have
Okay.
a little bit more money than that.
All right, so a little bit more than $19,494.81. Brings us to monthly reports and updates, starting with the mayor's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I really don't have too much to report at this time. I haven't heard anything from the bank regarding our status of the negotiations or last offer, but I did get some recent news regarding Arlington Ambulance due to our, and we'll be bringing it up at the council, but just due to the annual fee that we pay them, it's considered optional. And by law, they still have to respond. Out here, it's mainly for their overhead. And so we have no active agreement with them for 2025 into 2026, which means that should save the city about 8 to 10 grand. I don't remember what the cost was, but just a little brief update from the EDAs. I just heard that today, so that's good news.
Anything else?
That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Council liaisons report.
I have nothing either.
Neither do I. Easy enough. Update then on 296 McGran. If there's any updates.
Mayor Sheets, did you wanna, I don't think the EDA doesn't know about the November 11th deadline.
Yep. So I'm happy to cover a little bit of that. So, well, first of all, I should ask, have we had anything yet to date? Nothing yet? Okay. So the status of the building just east of here, 296 McGran, as we sit, they have until November 11th to report back with a structural engineer's report on the facility. The building inspector has recommended we do not approve any building permits until that structural report comes back from the engineer. And so we are sitting here just waiting on a report from the owners of 296 McGran. That's where it sits today. Am I missing anything out of that, Amy, you can think of?
No,
About it. So,
covers it.
well, so far, nothing. But if there's any delays or anything, there's to be clear communication with the city, and we'll keep the attorney updated as well.
All right, thanks for the update on that. Is there any update on Sharda Enclave?
No, I do not have any updates since the last EDA meeting.
All right, any updates on Wide Open Marine?
I spoke with the owner, Schawn, last week, right before the council meeting. He's still negotiating on his financing. And they were asking, his lender was asking if the city approved of the project and if they were approving any permits. And he said, well, they can't approve permits because you don't own the land, you can't apply for a permit yet. But the city council did address it. The mayor wrote a letter saying that the city is in support of that project. And we sent it on to Schawn last week. And it was addressed sort of generically so that he can shop around for other lenders now.
And if anybody wants to see that letter, just let Diane or Amy know, and I'm sure you're willing to share it, but.
Yeah.
It's an interesting situation, but
Yeah.
hopefully we get something.
He's frustrated
Figure it out.
too. When I
Not
talked to him,
year.
I talked to him for a while. He's frustrated. He is ready to dig ground. He's still wanting to get shovel in the ground this fall if possible.
Mhm.
Don't blame them.
But his lender,
Has,
the mayor and I were on a phone call with his lender. I understand the issues he's having. He's wanting a lot of information from Schawn to move forward with this, so.
Rather interesting being an established business for over 5 years. I don't understand it, but instead of simple letter recommendation following our council meeting, it's simple for us to do, so I hope he succeeds here.
Mhm. Okay, well, thanks for that update. Brings us to old business, update on the Smith grant. I believe this was for the event.
Yes, we were awarded the small town grant. From Smith, the $10,000 that we asked for, so we will be having the Green Isle Heritage Festival. The end of next September. So we talked about it at the council meeting already. We'll be getting a committee together. Anyone who's willing to help out. And we'll be looking for a large committee because there'll be a lot of events that day. $10,000 will get us a pretty big event. Ricky Barra knows about it. He will be raising the $2,500 match. He will be in Florida. He might be there already, actually. But he can begin from there even fundraising the additional $2,500. And he's still agreed to do that, so.
Kudos to Amy for applying for that, because I know it wasn't easy, but it makes me think of the Oktoberfest days with the keg toss and everything. We had all the fun activities down in that park, so I'm excited to bring something back.
Mhm.
And did we have a specific date for that? Did we have to submit one?
We did, it was like I believe it was the last Saturday in September with the first Saturday in October as our alternate rain date.
Okay,
For the snow.
Mhm. Thank you to everyone who wrote letters of support for that. The mayor. President of the EDA, thank you.
Big deal.
well, thanks for doing the hard work on it. All right, that brings us then to new business. Item A, consider our school bond negotiations after council heard from City Attorney Jansen 2 council meetings ago.
Mhm. Yes, he's asked us if there's been any new updates, and I did respond and say, well, the EDA hasn't met yet, we'll be meeting this evening and talk about it. Attorney Jansen has spoken with the mayor and spoken with me outside of the meeting as well as during the city council meeting about he really wants to keep the baseball park whole. So he wants the EDA to consider other options. Some of the options he threw out there were to give them some of our industrial park lots. I wasn't really in favor of that, I'll admit it, because then we'd lose all of our industrial park lots. We're already losing 2, so to give up more. He talked about giving up all of the baseball park to the bank, and then the baseball park would be privately owned. What else am I missing?
Those 2 were
The big ones.
the big ones, and just so everybody in here is aware, if I may, Mr. Chair, just
Yeah.
brief everybody. I know Councilmember Wentzlaff and I too, and Amy were all part of the negotiations. It was pretty much hardball. Yeah, we valued half of the field because that's all it is. It's the old rec park from the school. It was never surveyed back to its original parcel to be part of the school grounds itself. So instead it was left as half a baseball field. Now it's the half without all the infrastructure. And so our job was to get a appraisal. The bank's job was to get an appraisal. Trying to find somebody to appraise half a field is a nightmare because it's non-buildable land. It's parkland, and it's not for industrial use, it's not for commercial use, it's not for residential use, it is strictly non-tillable land, no different than you would for hunting land. So the bank went out for valuation, had an appraisal of like $1.2 million for the whole field, even though our requirement was half a field. And their appraisal process was similar to ours, where the appraiser would only add what its potential value could be. They don't care about what the zoning code is. They don't care about any of that. So if you're going to build on it, if you're going to do anything on it, this is what it is. It's 1.2 million. Ours came back, even though we said half of a field. Do you remember roughly the cost? I don't want to quote an exact number, but it was nowhere near that.
Ours was $215,000.
$215,000, and that's the potential if
Highest and best
Yes.
use.
if the city could build on it and fill it up with buildings and all sorts of homes or whatever the heck we wanted to do with it. City has no interest in changing that from a park. It's a baseball field is what it is. So we countered with the bank and stated, here's our appraisal, worked with them, and really offered them initially, it's roughly $2,500 per acre, so it'd almost be $25,000. And talking with the president of the association, Joe, you're the president currently, correct? So there was a potential cost match of $25,000. Our initial offer of 25 was a no-go. We went back to the bank and said, all right, let's fill 50. After hearing nothing for a very long time, well, I should say the bank did offer 1.2 million is what they told us. And then they went down to $500,000. And then we offered them 25 and then 50, and then they wanted 150 as their last amount. Now, if those numbers aren't exact, I'm just doing this off the top of my head, but it's, in a nutshell, that's what it is. They're playing hardball. That land is not valued at 150 grand because it's non-buildable, non-tillable land. I feel the city's offer was fair and equitable for both parties. Because what are we gonna do with half of a baseball field? It helps nobody. They could in theory put a fence across it and then charge us rent when a ball's hit over it, but it makes no sense. I don't know why they want it. So part of the collateral with this EDA bond does not impact the city. The only thing that impacts us is that we're losing 2 industrial lots, we're losing the bus garage, we're losing the school building, and we're losing half of the baseball field. Our counteroffer included that we'll pay all the surveying costs to bring that field back to make it whole again. Plus, they can keep the industrial lots, those 2 up for collateral. They get the school building, they get the bus garage, but our offer simply was not good enough for them. And so that's where it sits today. I think that covers it, right? And it's a heck of a spot to be in. Nobody wants to be in it, but here we sit. So yeah, City Attorney Jansen still wants us to keep those doors open, but meanwhile, we use the rental income from renting out the industrial lot from Excel Energy last year to do marketing and real estate and a feasibility study for the whole thing to try to sell this school building. But if we were to take over payments as a city and take that bond over, you're looking at a 20% tax increase for the city. And it'd be $8,000 extra a month we'd have to pay versus letting the building go into foreclosure. There's plenty of people interested in that building. We've had a lot of people reach out. They can't afford $8 grand a month, but they could afford to buy it at an auction. I'll tell you that. So that's in a nutshell how our negotiations have went. And it's been a lot of us pushing at them saying, any updates, any updates. Because I think at the end of the day, a bank does not want half a baseball field. So I'm surprised that the offer that I think the Baseball Association so humbly offered up, the 25K, or up to, and then our 25K plus all surveying costs and all that is plenty fair. But
Has there been an offer on the?
well, no, not at all. Plus, an offer from the private, you mean, right?
Yeah.
No, not at all. Plus, I want to add in the ongoing costs that we're experiencing as a city. We're considered in default. The EDA is on their bond. So it should be going through the foreclosure process, but we're going on year 2 now, if I'm not mistaken. Typically, a foreclosure is done by now. However, We as a city have been maintaining the boiler license. Maintaining the boiler every 2 weeks, somebody has to check on it in person, which is costing a few $100s every 2 weeks from the city at our cost. So taxpayers are already covering that. Elevator permits, making sure it's in compliance with fire code, all these things are still happening while the building's supposed to be under foreclosure. So I am disappointed at the whole negotiation process. From the other end, I think that the city and EDA has been extremely fair and consistent throughout the process, but I don't necessarily favor foreclosure, but I feel like it's our only option. If anybody read the latest Arlington Enterprise, I got a chuckle out of the headline saying that I prefer it because I don't favor foreclosure. Nobody wants to see that happen at all. If anything, we'd sell the building, but nobody's going to buy it at $1.2 million. And nobody's going to be able to afford $8,000 a month because you'd have to overhaul the whole dang thing. And we had a real estate agent, the second one, come out and share what school buildings around the area are selling for. And I think very few of them topped 100 grand. So the bank's offer of 150 still remains, in my mind, unacceptable. And I'm not a voting party here at the EDA. I'm ex officio. So as the mayor, I'm a ex officio member, meaning I have no vote. So I mean, this has gone through the EDA, it's gone through the city council, and it's been consistent with our opinions on it, but we still had to see what Attorney Jansen had to say and bring it here.
And just to confirm, the $25,000 that we discussed plus the $25,000 match, that was approved by us and council. Is
So
that correct?
R 25, up to
25.
it was roughly $25 if you look at it in acreage, plus the rough cost of like doing the surveying
Mhm.
and getting it all laid out. So that's roughly what that would cost. Now, the baseball association's proposed match is of course tentative because it has to be accepted and approved by resolution at the council, and we have to recommend those funds to go towards that. Obviously, we do that. But that was never a guarantee. This 25 is a tentative, or perhaps, we don't know,
Mhm.
in an official capacity, but we do know what our offer to the city was.
And if I may ask, is that $25,000 still perhaps on the table?
It's on the table.
Okay, thank you. So-
That's all I have for updates.
Have you ever considered, I know we kind of talked about it a while back, maybe not officially, but maybe trying to pressure the bank saying, hey, we're gonna go seek elsewhere?
Yes, I have sent 2 emails, and I've even personally, we were there, personally told Taylor at the bank that if there's no negotiation, your community bank, what if we were to take our accounts and leave? And I had a shoulder shrug. So that is on the table to move accounts elsewhere. And no matter what happens, I think if there's no community involvement from the bank side in working with us on this, I don't see why we would want to keep accounts open with them, to be honest. That's my opinion, but I think they'd lose out a lot on that.
Can the EDA start the foreclosure part? We gotta wait for the bank to start the process.
They already did by not paying.
Right,
Yeah, no, it's all on
but
them.
now it's on them to,
All we've had is a default notice.
that's it,
So is he like a co-signer on this thing? I don't quite understand.
EDA is the bondholder.
is the bond holder.
Okay.
yeah. Mhm.
This is a bond that is strictly EDA and I shouldn't say you, what the EDA put up for collateral back in 2005 was the school building itself and that piece of the ball field that used to be the playground, 2 industrial lots. And then, of course, we have that bus garage and unfortunately part of that playground includes a little portion of that trail area too, just behind the school building. So that was up for collateral at the time, just to get the building up to code, because if I recall, it was closed down for a long period of time prior to it becoming a school again. And the school had great ambitions of opening up this charter school. It was when the boom of charters was coming around, and now they're all failing. I shouldn't say all, but many are failing. There's just not enough funds coming in like you would see in a public school. There's just not. And they never made their break even number, I believe, of 78 or 70 students. They never reached their break even point, if I recall correctly.
So I've done some thinking, some asking around on this since Attorney Jansen came back to council a couple meetings ago. As much as I don't, and I think a lot of citizens don't want to spend more money on it, the people I did talk to think it might be worth talking about upping our last offer of $25,000 plus the potential $25,000 match. Because this is gonna turn into a mess if we let it go to the bank and they end up owning that half of the park. Who knows what's gonna happen then? And it might be even more expensive for us to solve the problem at that point.
Or it could
Because
be.
we are talking about a city park here. It is not necessarily the EDA, but council at least, it's our responsibility to protect our parks if we value them. So I think, and like I said, the couple citizens I talked to, I think we need to counter offer once more, at least give it one more try. Even though it's gonna hurt our budget, might suck for a couple years to recoup that. But we all think it would be easier than not doing anything at all.
What number are you thinking?
There's no way we could recoup it, cause you're just taking tax money, you're paying. I mean, it's still in foreclosure regardless. We say, okay, we'll give you 100,000 and you take that from the taxpayer, you're never gonna recoup that money.
Yeah, no, there's no recouping it.
Yeah.
Unless you take in more taxes.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what are we gonna do if we lose the baseball park?
You got a couple options. You can buy it from auction. Half the park, yeah, you could buy it out from auction. Cause it's.
If they
gonna go
put it up
there.
for auction,
I don't know what they do with half. But
well, they might, like you said, charge rent if
they
they
might,
make
they
this
could
difficult.
charge rent per ball going over that line, that magical line, but I don't think they're gonna happen. And I gotta be honest with you.
Being there to do it.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest with you, I don't think a bank wants to own the school building. I don't think they wanna own half of a baseball field, and I don't know why $50,000 isn't plenty for them in a community bank, especially as the primary, I mean, we have a lot of money sitting in that bank at all times. But that's why I think City Attorney Jansen brought forth this next idea, right? Because we've already gone back and forth on pricing. Brought forth the idea of what if you could counter, and I think that's the question, and you're bringing up another one too.
Yeah, cause I don't think we should counter and give them more lots. It already sucks that we're losing two.
Right.
And I don't think we'll be able to afford to buy those back from them. Cause those are worth more than
Correct.
half of a baseball park.
And then his second, remember, was to say, okay, if you think that this ball field is worth $1.2 million or whatever they came up with in their appraisal, then have the ball field, take the whole thing. We'll give you our portion. And then you give us our industrial lots back. You give us our bus garage and you let us survey out and we get that trail and everything back. That was what City Attorney Jansen brought up for the EDA as we'll call it option 2. Option 1 is get rid of all the EDA lots. You look at the valuation of that. I'm pretty sure they'd say no, and there's more long-term tax revenue that could come from that than anything that we have. That's probably our biggest asset right now is the industrial park, in theory, long-term asset.
Yeah.
But if Taylor at the bank thinks it's 1.2 million, we could counter and say, if you're not gonna accept 50 grand, then accept the other half of our field and give us everything back. And that's what City Attorney Jansen brought forth. I don't like that idea either.
I don't like
You know, but I don't think they'd accept it.
They don't want it.
They're not going to accept it. What are they gonna do with the ball field? The only thing they could do is charge admission, but then I can guarantee they'd have nobody playing in it. I'm sure the Amateur Baseball Association, the Green Isle Irish, would tell them to pound sand. Or at least you'd hope they would.
And they're not gonna sell it for 1.2 million.
Right,
it.
and
It's a park.
correct, because it's a park, it's non-buildable land.
Designated as a park.
So that's like, we're the messengers. I mean, City Attorney Jansen brought it forth at the council. And that's really up for discussion. And so if nobody likes that idea of getting rid of industrial parks, of our whole industrial park and giving it to the bank, and nobody's in favor of offering the bank our half of the field in lieu of getting those other collateral items back, then it's really up to Hunter's question or idea or proposal, we'll call it. But What were you
Yeah.
thinking for price?
That's not our say, that's really not our say, cause it's not the EDA money. we're
You can
using.
make a
We'll
recommendation.
recommend it to
Yeah.
council.
Hunter, could I just?
Not right now,
Okay.
thank you though. The amount I came up with, I mean, it's tough to figure out what's gonna stick, are they
Right.
even gonna accept it, but. If we're at 25,000 right now. I'm thinking we gotta get up to 50 to 75,000 plus the $25,000 match. I think that would be a fair counter offer to their most recent offer of $150,000.
So you'd say the
And-
city would add 50 grand in up to 50 grand extra, so the city would throw in 75. Right,
Yes,
Yeah.
and
it'd be a
then,
total of $75,000. And that's recognizing, I mean, as a part of a negotiation process as this has been. They have come a long way from 1.2 or even from 600 for half the park. They're down to 150. And we haven't budged a bit.
oh, we budged, well, yeah, I mean, we started
bit,
at
but-
25 and then with the 25 based on money that we've already had kind of set aside, and then with the rental of the industrial lot, which is making us money. And then gratefully, the baseball association stepped forward. So, I mean, we've budged quite a bit. And there's a reason why they're not in foreclosure 2 years later. I still think something's going to happen. I don't know where it's not my call to make it a vote here tonight, but
Yeah.
getting an additional 50 grand, I feel is gonna be hard when everything's up in price and we're trying to do our best. And I mean, the baseball or the park's great, but it doesn't generate revenue. Parks aren't destined to generate revenue either, right?
Right.
It's a community resource. And we're all passionate about the baseball field. It looks great. State games are out there, all this. So it sucks no matter where we go with it, but it's an idea to discuss.
Where does that 1.2 million come for that ballpark? I thought it was 250,000. Isn't that the appraisal? What 1.2 million for the whole building and everything, wasn't it?
No, it's just a baseball field.
Just the baseball
That's
field?
what the
If
bank
you were to
had
go,
appraised.
he claims if you were gonna go out and buy a field somewhere, $1.2 million. That's what.
But wasn't that appraisal like initially $250,000 for that 4 acres?
Ours
That's
was that
4 acres of farmland right now, about 10,000 an acre.
Well, yeah, that's, yeah.
Go buy 10 acres out there for 50,000. Yeah, and you can take all this, everything you built over here, transfer it over the new scoreboard, everything. Yeah, it would suck because you gotta run water and power and all that to wherever it would be, but
But that's the number that's what they came up with.
That's their number. And we've worked with them every step of the way. They even asked to see as when we came back with the baseball association's add-on. They were thinking about it forever and then they decided for months, and then they requested a copy of our appraisal. We got that to them same day. And I mean, we have been working with them, I think, very, very well. And I don't know what else we do really at this point, but wait.
Yeah, and I feel it's worth another $25,000 to. Hopefully get this over with and not have to deal with whatever the fallout's gonna be if we don't.
I'm confused, another 25? I thought you said 70.
From our 50 with the $25,000 match, so the
Well,
75,000.
no, the city's only ever offered 25. The baseball association's only ever offered 25.
Yes.
I shouldn't say only.
50
but-
total with the two of those.
Yep,
I wanna go up to 75.
so add
50 of
another.
the city, 25 of the match.
Or do you counter them with 75,000? Knowing proposing that we could go up to 100,000,
I wouldn't agree with that.
you know.
I don't want, I'm sorry, nothing against the baseball team, but I don't want my tax money trying to fix this problem that was arised, 20 years ago. When this all started. And that's just my point. It's not that I don't want the baseball park, I just don't want. It's $75,000. That's quite a bit for a small community like this.
Yeah, it's like
That's-
10% of our budget
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. So you're looking at a probably 5% levy increase just to cover that?
And I can tell you during negotiations, there was discussion of going to the association and seeing what, have them pay for it, then have them charge rent and start doing all these different ideas. And it's like, we're not even there yet. We're just trying to make the parcel whole again. So why are we gonna go to the Green Owl Irish and go and request that they start paying us rent for the city park? I mean, as much as they do for the community, and it makes no sense. Like, where are we gonna come up with that extra money too? I mean, we spent a lot of money on that industrial, or on maintaining that building and continue to. And we've done all the repairs. They now have LED lights out there from the hail damage out at that field. There's been so much done there. And I don't know where we come up with the money that would not impact the taxpayer today. As we budget, we're still sitting at, it's not final yet, but it's almost 10% increase for the levy overall, just due to cost of services and everything. Like, I've talked to quite a few people, and I'd like to hear from everyone else too. Like, the consensus I'm getting is they're not happy with the bank's calendar. And why the heck isn't foreclosed yet?
Mhm.
And so that leads me to believe that bank does not want anything to do with that building. So therefore it's in their best interest to listen to what the heck the city's saying. And like Schawn said, let's pull our accounts. I don't know.
I mean, they'll take notice if, say the city's got $1 million, whatever they have. You pull $1 million out of a small community bank, they're gonna realize, you know.
It's been offered, and I think two people here can contest that it was a shoulder shrug.
Any other input, any other ideas, creative solutions? If we can come up with them.
Cause I think we've gone through this before, we've gone back and forth, we voted to negotiate, and we voted that bank's last offer was a no-go.
No.
Then we went back to the council was unanimously the same. Our city attorney came up with this idea, 2 ideas. And Hunter came up with another one. So you got 3 ideas on the table. I mean, it's up to you guys to issue that recommendation. Now, if it happens, that's the council, but.
I'd like to make a motion to proceed with recommending we offer up to $75,000 for the half of the baseball park. Knowing that we would potentially get a $25,000 donation towards that amount.
I just need to clarify, so is that 75,000 from the city or 50 from the city?
50 from the city.
An additional 50.
And it is 25.
50 total,
50.
25 on top of our initial 25.
I'll second.
75.
75 total with the match,
Okay.
It's not a match.
or with the donation,
Then
whatever the official term is for it.
Yeah, no, I just
Not a match, a donation, yeah.
Vic, you seconded?
Yeah, seconded.
All right, motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
I have some, I'd like to know, is the baseball association still planning on putting forth that 25 to the city? That's still on the table, correct?
I had another option.
Yeah, no, we'll get to, yeah, we will.
Yeah.
So that's.
Yes, we committed the 25.
Yep. And so, without hearing the other option, right? So we're up for discussion now, so I mean.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to make sure that 25K commitment was there through the association. But yeah, now's your time to discuss. If you want it to go to a vote, I struggle with the idea of
I
25.
don't think 25 is gonna do anything.
Mm-mm. I'm not a vote at the EDA, but I really don't either.
Yeah, there's no
We have
way
to bank over
to
the-
accept it.
Don't we have them over the barrel, cause this is zone for
Yeah.
park,
It won't change.
yeah, they're kinda holding the bag there, aren't
Yeah.
they?
Like Shane said, if they were so gung ho to have that field in that school, they'd had paperwork done already.
Yep. They're waiting on, I think they were waiting on something like the association was gonna come forward with a ton of money and throw it at them, and You guys are a nonprofit too. It's not like you're just bursting at the seams with funds. And we've explained that to them that, look, we're a small community. You're acting like we're big business negotiations here. It's not going to operate like that in a municipal area. Plus, we've been paying routinely, the school at the time, and then the city took over routinely that $8,000 a month since 2005. You add that all up, and their bond is insured. So they've probably gained back almost all the principal from that initial. So it's not like they're really losing money at this moment in time. It'd be in good faith for them to simply just accept the dang offer we put on the table for them as is. Especially if we're paying a whole. But
I still believe somewhere along the line, that whole green out baseball field should be privately owned. That we as a city wash our hands completely of it. And whatever it takes on our part to sell back our half back into this entity, I don't know, but it sure seems to just not take off.
The bad thing with it being privately owned, then you're basically taking it away from the community though too. Not the parks part, but just the baseball field, basically.
yeah, you'd be taken away from them.
So I mean, so there'd be no more kids up there playing ball or anything, because it's privately owned, it's private property then. That's the downfall with going that road. And I don't see a lot of kids up there playing. I'm not home during the day, but.
Well, even when I have been, there's occasionally like a kid or two playing.
I know my neighbor goes up there every once in a while, but.
But it's not routinely used like the other parks.
Yeah.
But it sure as heck is for, of course, the Green Isle Irish. And I mean, that they could in theory rent from the bank if it were to be privately owned. I'm not saying go for it, but that's, I see what you're saying is if the bank were to accept that offer, which I don't think they'll want to own a baseball field and operate it, they could in theory generate revenue off of it by renting it out for games to amateur baseball. And I think that's where the city attorney's mind is going with it. And knowing it'll probably get shut down, but we're still trying everything we can. And I think even paying the boiler fee of $200 and some every 2 weeks is a lot. Now that we're back in winter season again.
Wait till you have to pay for the heat.
That's what I'm saying. We're here again. So 2 years out, I know exactly what's going on at the bank.
Yeah.
So
Denise, did you have any other conversation?
Just like. I see what everyone's saying, but I'm thinking we just stick with what we are originally saying to them. And try to get that back. I don't know how you can force their hand into foreclosure any more than what we've done or what to do. And I thought we were gonna hand the keys over to them and say, hey, the
Yeah.
builder and all that's yours, but we can't do that.
oh, we can, yeah. But this was just brought up. And so from what I gather, you have your motion and your second on the floor to open it up for discussion for that additional $25,000. So what I gather is no.
Yeah, I mean,
No, right? I mean, but we could then open up discussion with them if you wanted to bring that vote up and.
yeah, I just wanted to get everybody's input because this is a hot topic.
Very much so.
So with that, there was a motion and a second to vote on recommending to council an additional $25,000 to offer to the bank for the half of the baseball park. All of those in favor of that, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I
3 and 2. Is that
Who was in favor of it? There's 2 in favor,
3?
3 in favor,
3 in favor.
okay? 3 in favor of recommending $25,000
Yes.
extra for the negotiations to go toward the city council for approval.
2 opposed and 1 absent.
Okay.
And we're a 6-person committee, right?
Yeah,
All that applies is who's here though, so.
Okay,
Yep.
so that motion carries.
So we'll bring that at the next council and see where it goes from there. So we'd highly recommend, of course, you guys attend, but I'd see you there too.
Yeah, while we're all here, would we like to hear Joe's recommendation,
I do.
just in case this falls through a council?
Yeah. Very complicated.
Mhm.
Been a problem for a long time here. Nobody in this room is at fault, that's for sure. We've given this a lot of thought. Back and forth and let it go. And see what happens. It's an option, you know. I don't think the bank really wants it, in my opinion.
Mhm.
What if the baseball team negotiated separately with the bank for the 4.2 acres? And then donated it to the city? If we could come to an agreement.
So you're asking to just switch responsibility of negotiations from the EDA to the Baseball Association? Right?
Basically. Only for that 4.2 acres, not the building.
Oh, come on.
Only, no, what's mortgaged? That's fair, but that would save taxpayer money. Going into that.
That's not legal. We can't even remotely do that. Like, we can't have, I hear what you're saying, but we can't have an association that has no financial authority or ownership authority negotiate with the bank and make an offer that is not approved by the council or EDA. That really muddies the waters, and all it does is robs Peter to pay Paul. It just changes the other people that we're negotiating to new negotiators. Because we don't care about the other stuff too. They can have those two EDA or industrial lots.
But it would save the taxpayer money. If
If you do get a deal.
negotiated, we commit to pay that amount. Whatever we committed to.
Didn't you already commit though?
So far, we've committed 25,000 to the city.
Right.
There's a way we can maybe make it happen.
But it sounds like, if I'm understanding what you're getting at, Mr. Mayor,
You don't think it's legal for us to negotiate?
that would have to happen after the bank owned the property?
You guys could easily buy that, and we've thought about that too, is you guys could easily negotiate with the bank prior to it even going to a sheriff's auction to snag it up. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, 100%. And that's where my mind has been this whole time. It's like, if it goes up for auction, there is, or even after the foreclosure, that's when people are interested in buying the building. I've already been approached by a few that said, hey, when that goes up, keep me in touch. I would like to start XYZ. I would be interested in this building for.
Well, this is no place for wild rumors around town,
Right.
but there is a rumor that a certain gentleman has offered a ton of money.
Hmm.
He was gonna be here tonight, but
Have you heard that one? Offered.
he told me to my face.
It may have been to the bank, but not to us.
Yeah,
Because we're in default there. EDA is in default on the loan. Nobody has come to us to make an offer on the building ever.
Nothing.
Correct, EDA? Right?
There's a big amount
Okay.
is what we heard.
So it was probably at the bank, and they have every right to entertain offers. And I'd be interested in hearing that too. Yeah, because that's news to
Well,
me.
yeah, if this offer is true, I
Right.
think the bank certainly would feel differently about the total.
Then,
Yes.
well, I can guarantee we've never been, as the EDA, the owners of the property,
It's never been approached,
never.
right?
Nope.
It's blowing smoke.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of that going around right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but, that's what gets people riled up is these rumors, and that's why I decided to stream tonight's meeting, because I think it was such an important topic. We typically don't stream EDA because of the business conversation. Just out of courtesy, they're still open to the public, all of that. But if I'm a corporation trying to purchase an industrial lot, now my competitor has an in, your competitor can come to the meeting. So they're not streamed, but for the sake of the bond and everything going on and the sensitivity of it with the baseball and just, I mean, it's been a part of the city forever. But yeah, you guys are welcome to buy that outright at an auction if the city chooses not to pursue it, or negotiate with the bank post foreclosure You could probably even get it at 25 grand or even $1, because I don't think anybody's gonna be interested in buying it at a sheriff's auction, because what are they gonna do with half a field? You know what I mean? But no, that's, and I apologize, I thought you meant just to switch negotiators, because I'm like, that won't change them one bit. That's why I've been saying if it goes, let it go, because that way we can at least generate tax revenue from the school building instead of it taking tax dollars away from residents and businesses right now at 250 some every 2 weeks. Now we got to heat it again. And yeah, we're just trying to find an easy way to save half a dang field. Right? And
There's
put it
no easy
together.
way.
Okay, find a meaningful way, or at least meet in the middle. And I think that we have acted in good faith with negotiations with the bank. And I'm very displeased with it 100%, especially if the rumors are true that somebody came forth with an offer to the bank. What are they doing?
I thought.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Or who to believe anymore.
But
You know, and earlier when we talked about revenue from the baseball park. The baseball park does generate revenue for the city because we have a lot of players that are from out of town. They bring grandparents into town, they bring parents into town. These people go to the gas station, they go to the Gray Fox, they go to the Club New Yorker. So I just wanted to make that remark, and I think our businesses do rely on the baseball park for more people to use their business.
I know.
Certainly draws people in.
it's just a metric we can't control and tell the bank that here's what it brings in.
No, that's.
So you can't, it's just a comment.
Shane, we do have several youth teams using it besides the Irish.
Right.
Right.
And
Seven.
Sibley East would be allowed to use it if they just reached out and asked.
Right,
They choose not to.
yeah.
So right now we have the junior legion and the senior legion that
And a
does
14
play
and
down
under.
there. And they bring, you know, a lot of parents and grandparents in on Friday nights where they wouldn't be in Green Isle otherwise.
I think this gentleman had something on it.
Yeah, go
I've
ahead.
got a question. You have an attorney, right?
Yes.
City,
How can the attorney let this drag out so long? Does he have, or she, have no ability to force this to a head? I mean, how can he let it drag out for 2 years? Are they getting paid by the? What? How can he not force the issue?
Good question, because couple things. This was my push when we negotiated, when Ross Arneson retired, like there was, you could do a per hour for your city attorney, or you could do a monthly rate. I'm pretty dang thankful we did a monthly rate, because I know a neighboring city does hourly and they're regretting it. So we do have an attorney that's working on this actively. And in our discussion with them, and Amy, you can chime in too. You can't force a bank to just foreclose. What we can do is say, here's the keys, do it. But the limbo is, again, here we are negotiating with them, and they wait months to respond, and now we're in winter time approaching. We turn off the boiler system, it goes out of code. Now that building's worthless, pipes break, everything breaks, even our hail damage claim we followed through on during this whole process. But now we're gonna be stuck heating it again, because I already told Taylor, we've all voted, here, take the keys. But our city attorney is saying it's a gray area because it's still insured by us until this goes through.
I've never heard of an attorney that couldn't bring things to a boil.
Right.
Well, he is, and I think that's probably why the last stretch here was his final offer of, all right, we've offered you a financial sum multiple times, back and forth. We've done all this. Our last attempt and good faith effort would be take the field. Give us the industrial lots back as the collateral, the bus garage, and we'll walk away from it. And that was the offer, because if it's basically catching them in the act saying, okay, if you think it's worth 1.2 million, take the whole dang field, which you know they're not going to do. And that's what City Attorney Jansen wanted us to address tonight. Now, if you also, I just want everybody to know this too. 240 months is how long we've had this bond roughly. 240 months. If consistently, granted, there's been changes here and there and fees, et cetera, 240 months, that's 20 years, times 8,000 a month is $1,920,000 is what that bank has.
Doesn't the bond go through like 2047 or something like that?
12,000 a month.
And it was
Till the
12.
time I became mayor.
Yeah, it's due
When-
until like 2025 or 2048 or something, is like when the bond comes matures.
So nobody's, and it's been redrafted a few times, nobody's losing money here. I want to be clear about that. Even if it was at 1.8, 1.9 million, I don't understand it, and it's an insured bond. So I understand that they have a board to keep happy, but we have residents and businesses to also keep, look out for, so.
All right, well, I appreciate the input. While we're on the topic, any other ideas before we move on? Just in case.
So
I'd just let it, I'd stick with, like, I agree with Diane, stick with what we've offered and they,
Hi, Diane.
That's Diane.
oh, yeah.
I'm Denise.
Sorry.
Nice to meet you, Sean.
Sorry.
let's say it again.
But I agree with her. I'd stick with what we got. I mean, yeah, we already voted to take more money, but I'd say stick with what we got. Cause everybody's in this room pretty much agrees they don't want it.
Right,
And they're just trying to play hardball, see how much they can get out of us.
yep,
Mhm.
yep. But we did vote to just give them more money though,
That's what I said.
To recommend it to.
to recommend it to council.
Council.
Yep. So now we'll see what council says, but, yeah, I don't know. You have something to say, Joe? Joe?
Oh, I've exhausted way too much time already, just thinking,
We all have.
yeah, I get that.
And, yeah, I just.
I tried to get out of one of the guys originally, why did you remortgage that when it was free and clear? Well, I don't think it quite went down that way. He goes, yeah, it did go down that way.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot, no matter which way we take, somebody's gonna be upset. We didn't do something right,
Oh, many of them have passed away that were involved
or their
in
dad.
the original deal.
Yeah, and I'm still,
The one thing, at least they did it with the EDA.
yep,
We can't ever bond again, but we should. So,
I'm not a fan of bonds for this very reason. They haunt people in the future. But at the same time, I'm not blaming them for doing it because the way the school pitched it and the way charter schools were blowing up was extreme, and it kept that school building functional, historic building going for a long time, that a private entity owned and operated. I think it comes down, and I reached out to Governor Walz, legislators, everybody, to say, why the heck are we allowing charters to
You
fail?
realize that if nothing would ever happen, it would have cost close to $1 million to tear it down.
Right. Right. So I mean, everything's done with good intentions, just like most laws, right?
exactly.
The county is probably gonna get that school back in Gaylord. They sold it for 50,000. He's just gonna let it go back to them eventually.
Yeah.
Cause what did when I was on, what were we, I mean, the school was in there, but they said the heat, wasn't it like $100,000 a year just to heat it?
Yeah.
Over like 125,000 or something just to heat it?
I would say it's like 75 grand. I'd say with the issues, like if you're tracking on repairs, maintenance,
Yeah.
Having your licensed person.
Yeah, I thought it was like 125,000, but
Budget.
yeah.
All that.
For the season,
For all year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those old boilers are nothing easy.
And all of a sudden, winter's coming,
Yeah.
we're still with.
Yeah.
At least when they bonded it through the EDA, it didn't affect the city council and the city.
Correct. That is the good thing
It
about the
was going
bond,
to-
is that it does not impact the taxpayer, but it will if we keep forking over cash as an offer to the bank and they end up accepting it, then it impacts us. So, it will go to the council, but did you want to entertain a vote on that baseball field piece for City Attorney Jansen? I assume that's the one piece he wanted you to address, right?
On the,
Yeah, just so he knows.
giving them the whole field and keeping the EDA lots and the school building.
So it would be, since the field is valued per the bank or appraised at 1.2 million for the entire field. Therefore, our portion of the field, which has most of the infrastructure, will be the majority of that in theory. So it would be to give or offer the cities or the EDA's portion of that field and make that field all belong to Cornerstone State Bank at their valuation of 1.2 million. In exchange for that, the city of Green Isle or EDA would get back the 2 industrial lots that were up for collateral. They would also get the ability to survey and get its trail back behind there. And also the Green Isle bus garage for the Lions Club that's in there with commercial kitchen and everything. So they would get the school and they would get a whole baseball field valued at $1.2 million. And so that's what City Attorney Jansen wanted us to go back to the bank with or entertain it with the EDA to see if it was worthwhile. So that should probably come to a vote. So we have an item to bring forth to the council too.
Does anybody want a motion one way or another on that idea?
And I can't.
I'd like to get the lots back, but I don't think that's. I think. Even the people that don't follow the baseball, I think would be pretty offended if we just kind of tucked our tail between our legs and said, here you go, have the whole works.
Mhm.
I don't agree with that, you
No.
know.
Agreed. Make a motion not to do that.
Thank you. That's what I was seeking.
I'll second.
Okay.
Motion and a second to not move forward with that idea. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That carries. We will not proceed with that idea. All right, well, thanks everybody for the input on that. Like Shane and I mentioned, we will bring that proposal back to council. One thing,
One more thing that you should really vote on was giving 2 industrial lots, negotiating to give them the rest of our industrial lots
Thank
in
you.
exchange
Oh.
for the half of the baseball park, because that was Attorney Jansen's other recommendation.
the rest of the lots?
All of them.
All the EDA lots.
I thought it was just one.
No, it was get
Okay.
rid of the entire industrial, the vacant industrial lots.
I make a motion not to give the bank or offer the bank the whole EDA
I'll
lots,
second that.
all the EDA lots.
Motion and a second. Any
Yes.
further
Sorry.
discussion on
Say
that?
Any or all, because I
Available.
don't remember, if he said one
Okay.
or all.
He said industrial park,
He said industrial park, okay.
so it'll be.
I make a
vacant.
motion not to offer any or all of our industrial lots. Does that sound better? To
You guys can
bank.
second it, yeah.
And Sean's
Sounds like he's
second.
for the bank.
Any further discussion on that motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that carries as well. All right, good there? Cool. All right, next, 2026 goals.
Okay, it is that time of the year where we need to start thinking about our 2026 goals. And I wanted to pull a few of them out of our comprehensive plan. Hopefully you guys all still have your copies of the comp plan. And I would direct you to pages 79 through 81. Some of the things on our short-term list from the comp plan were to establish a business retention and expansion program by December of 2025. Doesn't mean we have to hit that date, supporting existing businesses and encouraging economic growth. The second one, and that's on page 79 of your comp plan, the second one was to initiate a housing needs assessment by March of 26 to identify gaps in the city's housing stock and develop strategies to address affordability and diversity. By that I mean diversity of housing.
Mhm.
And the last one was to develop a downtown revitalization plan.
Was there a deadline on the, or a goal for the downtown revitalization plan?
June of 2027. Kind of in order.
You'd almost have a subcommittee look at the downtown revitalization plan, correct? I mean, and have them work on it independently and come back. God, that's coming quick, 2 years.
Yeah,
Something with like a housing needs assessment
Mhm.
that.
That's,
Taken care of by a subcommittee or.
yep.
Mhm.
I would be willing to assist with the housing needs assessment and the downtown revitalization plan. Probably,
Could help with the housing needs assessment.
so we have Shane for the two initiatives. Denise, you're gonna assist housing needs.
Yes.
All right,
For the business retention, really that means going and visiting with our businesses, and that could be everyone.
I think we all should do that.
I'd like everyone to chip in, you could go with me, we can go talk to business owners.
Yep.
I talk to them all the time.
There you go.
Two establishments anyway.
So survey with you next time.
Yeah.
Salt me in for that one too. I think all of that is good. We just have to be mindful of quorum.
Yeah, we can't ever have a quorum, so
Yeah, with the
probably kind of mix it up with one person at a time from the EDA.
So subcommittees for all three of those,
Yep.
what I'm hearing.
To clarify that business retention and expansion program, that would include any like prospective business owners too, I think, correct? Like if they own a structure in town that they're looking at creating into a business. So. Like that.
Okay, so the business retention, you would like all of us to.
All of you really, so that wouldn't really be a subcommittee, because
Okay,
we will just go in
and it would be during.
and talk to.
I think you just send an email when you're free to do so.
When I'm ready to, I'll probably just try to set something up with the
Okay.
business, and then whoever, I'll kind of send out an email. First one to get back to me that wants to go with me. Tell yours.
You're not gonna hear from any of us after that.
Oh, well, then I'm just gonna start picking people to come with me.
You wanna go on a Saturday afternoon to one of the? Well, any day, Saturday.
Saturday 2 to 4.
Yep, Saturday too.
Switch my working around if I know
Okay,
when it is.
yeah, I'll try to schedule.
I can
those.
usually switch, yeah.
I'm somewhat flexible too, so I can
Yeah.
hop in as.
That's what I even thought, so.
Yeah, just an email when you're planning them and go from there.
Vic, how's your schedule looking?
I'm
Vic.
good. I'm good. You just name it, we'll be there.
Awesome, thank you.
Switch around.
Anybody else willing to volunteer for the downtown revitalization plan? Well, I'll talk at once.
Yeah,
I can start solo.
It's on there, yeah, by himself.
I can start solo, bring something back, and if I have something back, we can recruit more for the sake of it.
yeah.
And can we open those up to citizens or other boards?
I think once we get a draft, yes, yeah, I wouldn't see that being an issue.
With the downtown revitalization plan, does that have a little bit to do with talking the businesses and retention expansion?
It could.
Yeah, could
Definitely
they
put
go?
that together.
So we probably want to get that first.
Yeah, we kind of actually want to do these
Do
in
the-
order.
Yeah,
Yep.
do the retention and expansion and then hit the
Mhm.
downtown revitalization plan after we kind of figure out.
But we can get a layout of a draft in
Yeah.
advance of that, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. All right. Then we'll see how that all goes.
And was there any other goals we wanted to add in for next year?
Get this school taken care of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That can be a goal.
yeah, I'm with you on that.
It can be. Mhm.
Mhm. Got the school stuff.
And you can have goals from last year too. A lot of them are
With
ongoing, you know.
the sale
like
of
keep
the
some of them.
land.
Yeah, like sale of
Yeah.
the
Park
park lot.
lot.
That's something that would always be an EDA goal.
Would the goal also be that, another goal that, I don't wanna call it Oktoberfest, but probably not what it is.
Oh, the Heritage Festival.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Let's rename it.
And that's something
Yeah, the Heritage Festival could be a goal.
where the EDA is leading that, correct?
Yes, the EDA is leading that. So I'll ask for probably like co-chairs from the EDA to lead that committee.
That's a good goal for the next round, and then you'll already be repeating goals A and, or the three bullet pointed ones that we see. They're already repeated, advertising, mapping of industrial lot, right? We wanted accurate, possibly 3D maps of that to just post on our site. That could be a goal. That's becoming a big thing now. If you guys wanted it, I can think of what else we could incorporate. I think those are really good goals for you guys though, because this business retention and expansion one, I really like that because it will cover anybody that could turn their property into a business.
One thing I think, well, it's not so much as a city or EDA, but I think we should maybe look into maybe finding some more land for residential. Especially if this, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, goes through. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he bought all the land himself. But, you know,
Orderly annexation,
yeah,
that's in your comp plan
Yeah.
actually. But, yep.
And
I didn't get one of these.
Oh, no, we'll get you one because it's important. Yeah,
is that
that's our.
P and Z's working on that?
That is, yeah, that's been on the P and Z agenda for a little while.
Mhm.
Which point is gonna include probably what you and I Amy and I going to talk to townships and begin that discussion, just so that they know we're not out to steal land. It's
Yeah.
orderly. It's illegal to do so, and in good faith, the city's gonna have to budget money for it.
Oh, I
You
understand,
know,
yeah.
and but yeah, we've got that outlined, so we'll make sure to get you one of those. It's comprehensive and nice to see, so,
Background.
yeah, I'll grab one before we leave.
So that we'll leave off as a goal, since it's really a P and Z goal, to order the annexation, so.
And then do we want to keep continue the concert series as a goal? Or is that just something we do now?
The grant's consistent, but
Ricky-
it could go away,
Yeah. Ricky organizes all that.
but it's still EDA.
Yeah.
It's still run by the
Yeah.
EDA, because we received the grant each year.
You'll want that.
So achieve the grant for the concert series.
To keep it going.
It was fun.
All right, anything else on that? If not, any planning and zoning updates?
Planning and zoning will be reviewing an updated draft of the zoning code. Hopefully, voting to move it forward to Attorney Jansen to review. Then it will come back to planning and zoning. Then it will have to go up for a public hearing and be approved by city council, published in the paper. Planning and zoning, if they have time at the next meeting, they'll also be looking at a subdivision ordinance, because we didn't have a subdivision ordinance when Charlotte Enclave came on board. So we really didn't have any direction to follow with our new subdivision. So it'll be nice to have a subdivision ordinance, and in that, the tree committee will get their 2 trees per lot
Mhm.
in the subdivision ordinance. So we'll see if we get to that. If not, we'll get to that in December and then move that on to Attorney Jansen to review too. Same thing, that will have to have a public hearing published in the newspaper.
All right, thank you.
And we're still need to swear in Sheldon Matt.
Yeah, and
Need to be there.
if there's no interest there or he's just too tied up, that's okay. We can see if any post and see if anybody else would be
Yeah, like-
interested, or just wait till January 1st, which is coming up, because we'll have to meet about appointments.
All right, board and director comments, any update on how the last concert went? I think that was back in October.
Oh, yeah,
I think it would,
Yeah.
there were quite a few people there.
Attended.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was kind of,
It rained. I noticed it got moved in I was up north hunting and I,
just the band played there, and that was it. Yeah.
And the wind, it was the wind that prevented the tent from going up, so I think it'd be probably wise for EDA to just start thinking about and discussing with council to like, what can we do to ensure there's always a place for them to play, is have some contingency plans. This tent is great we have, but it won't stay up in the wind. There's talk of a trailer, there's enclosed trailers that you can use. You wanna purchase that in the future, like, there's a lot of stuff to think about with those.
Yeah, it went good.
Yeah, that we had a good turnout at
We're
that.
doing good.
Mhm.
Cool.
That's fun.
All right, then we have our 2025 goals on here just as a reminder. Is there any other comments for tonight?
Oh, no.
Hearing none, I will make a motion to adjourn.
I have a second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.